Every paradox in 8 minutes.
Paradox. If you use a time machine to stop your grandparents from meeting, you might prevent your own birth. But if you were never born, how could you have used the time machine in the first place?
Whoa, what? Dude, that got me tripped out. Wait, that's so true because like if you never listen. If you never Oh my god. What? Dude, if you went back in time and broke up your or never got your grandparents to get together, and if you went back in time, would you just disappear? Or would you disappear in the new time? Unless you're making a new branch in the universe, which would not be your reality. But what if it takes you like somewhere like different though? Like a because yeah, you want to be a thing. Dude, that's so crazy.
Achilles and the tortoise. Achilles, a fast runner, gives a tortoise a head start in a race. The paradox says Achilles will never pass the tortoise because every time Achilles reaches where the tortoise was, the tortoise has moved a little. It keeps going like this forever, making it seem like Achilles can't catch up. Ship of Theseus.
Wait, what? I gotta watch that again. I'm so
Never
confused.
pass the tortoise because every time Achilles reaches where the tortoise was, the tortoise has moved a little. It keeps going like this forever, making it seem like Achilles can't catch up.
What does that mean? I could be like really just slow right now. What does that mean? No idea.
Ship of Theseus. You have a ship and you replace all its parts. Is it still the same ship? If you use the old parts to build another ship, which one is the original?
Then if you put new parts on the same ship, it would be a new ship because it's not the same ship. But if you rebuild the ship, it still wouldn't be the old ship because it's a new ship that you build, but it's still the same ship with the same parts with the same ship. Wait, would it be the same ship? It would be the same ship because the same ship with the same parts exactly built the exactly same would just be the same ship from a long time ago. And the same ship built with the new parts is a new ship.
Soritis paradox. You have a heap of sand. If you remove one grain at a time, when does it stop being a heap? Barbershop paradox.
When does it stop being a heap? Dude, it would be the same, yeah. Dude, that would take like days. Not even like maybe like a year. 1 grain of sand?
In a town, the rule is the barber shaves those who don't shave themselves. But who shaves the barber? If he shaves himself, it breaks the rule. If he doesn't, he should be shaved according to the rule. Catch-22 paradox.
Wait, what?
The rule is the barber shaves those who don't shave themselves. But who shaves the barber? If
The barber could just shave at another barber.
he shaves
I don't get this paradox. Wait, maybe I'm just being really stupid this video, but I don't understand.
himself, it breaks the rule. If he doesn't, he should be shaved according to the rule. Catch-22 paradox. Needing something you can only have if you don't need it. For example, a pilot can avoid dangerous flights if he's insane, but asking not to fly shows he's sane. Fermi paradox.
Oh, so like
22
Wait, hold
paradox. Needing something you can only have if you don't need it. For example, a pilot can avoid dangerous flights
needing something that you don't have if you need it. Oh
if
my
he's
god!
insane, but
And then,
asking
like it's
not to fly shows he's sane. Fermi
Yeah, for you not wanting it means it's the right way of not wanting it.
paradox.
Damn.
If the universe is infinite, why haven't we seen any aliens? Opposite day paradox.
Because the universe is infinite. What? I mean, that's dude, we've only probably searched like not even 0.1% of we're not even 0.1% or even point, not even like maybe not even 1, like we're not even close. Dude, all we've searched was like this out of yeah, it's gonna take them infinity to get to us. But there is life, and I do believe there's life in space. All right, because they found life on Mars. Opposite day paradox.
If I say that it's opposite day, is it? Simpsons paradox.
If I say is it opposite day, is it? What? What does that mean? That just means you're saying opposite day.
It occurs when a trend appears in different groups of data, but disappears or reverses when the group are combined. This shows that the overall conclusion can be opposite to the conclusions drawn from individual subgroups. Tolerance.
So everything would be different if people did the same thing at the same percentage at the same time. This is probably like a stupid example, but if guys could get pregnant and girls get pregnant, if guys and girls at the same time all had kids and there's a 50% chance of these guys and girls having kids, life would be completely different from the situation happening if 70% of the girls had kids and 30% of guys had kids.
Paradox. Unlimited tolerance can make tolerance disappear, as it allows too much intolerance. For a tolerant society to survive, it must not tolerate intolerance.
Because too much tolerance would cause society to go downhill.
Bootstrap paradox. If a time traveler gives a young Einstein a book with the theory of relativity, and Einstein publishes it as his own, who's the original author? Stockdale paradox.
The original author. What? Because the original author, because, oh my god. Because he went back in time and, Einstein would be the original because you got that equation from Einstein because you just rewrote it down and then gave it to baby Einstein for him to publish when he was a baby. So basically, he's still the original creator, just given the same thing that he put from a different world, a different universe into his universe, making it seem like he didn't make it and he's not the one that published it, but he's really the original author and he will never know.
Paradox. Believing you will soon succeed decreases your chances of succeeding. Meanwhile, maintaining a belief that you will succeed one day increases your chance of succeeding. Jevons paradox.
Oh, I'm gonna succeed one day in this. Let's go. It's gonna happen.
Technological improvements that increase the efficiency of resource use tend to cause an overall increase in resource consumption because people like the product more. Olbers's paradox.
Wait, what?
Overall technological improvements that increase the efficiency of resource use tend to cause an overall increase in resource consumption because people like the product more. Olbers's paradox. Why is the sky dark if there are a vast number of stars in the universe? Paradox of thrift.
Because stars are really small, but the sun's in the sky, so why is the sun not making the sky brighter? What life are we living in? Woo! Dude, I heard this thing that we live in a black hole. Like, we're just in one big black hole. We're just different planets in this infinity black hole.
Saving more money individually is generally a good thing, but it can lead to economic problems for everyone as it could cause reduced consumption and economic growth. Unexpected
What
hanging
if Bill Gates gave $1 million to every person in the world?
paradox. A condemned prisoner is told he'll be hanged on a weekday next week, but the execution will surprise him. As the week progresses, he reasons that Friday is the latest possible day for the hanging, since it would still be a surprise on Thursday. But if it hasn't happened by Thursday night, Friday is no longer a surprise. He concludes it must occur on Thursday, yet that would also be expected. Value paradox.
Because it's got to be unexpected. But he was thinking it was expected on Friday.
Essential things like water are cheaper despite being crucial, while non-essentials like diamonds are more expensive. Pinocchio paradox. If Pinocchio's non-essentials like paradox. Essential things like water are cheaper despite being crucial, while non-essentials like diamonds are more expensive. Pinocchio paradox.
Yeah, because things we need are cheaper than things we don't need.
If Pinocchio says, "My nose will grow," it creates a logical dilemma. If it's true, his nose should grow, but then he's lying. If it's false, his nose creates a logical Pinocchio paradox. If Pinocchio says, "My nose will grow," it creates a logical dilemma. If it's true, his nose should grow, but then he's lying. If it's false, his nose shouldn't grow, but then he's telling the truth.
But he's not lying because his nose will grow. But he didn't say it. Oh my god, because he didn't say his nose will grow if he lies, which causes his nose to grow.
Paradox. The more directly one seeks pleasure or happiness, the less likely they are to achieve it. Crocodile paradox. A crocodile steals a child and promises its return if the parent correctly predicts what the crocodile will do. If the parent says the child won't be returned and the crocodile agrees, a paradox arises. If the crocodile returns the child, it contradicts its promise. If it doesn't return the child, it also contradicts the agreement. Sword and
Dude, because it would be a different sort of deal if he didn't bring the kid back, because so much could happen to the crocodile if he didn't bring it back. Now that he brought it back, it contradicts what the mom told him to do for bringing the kid back. But why would a crocodile want a kid in the first place? Crocodile would want a kid to eat the kid. So why the crocodile want to bring back the kid? Which contradicts the reason of being a crocodile. And how is a crocodile giving a thumbs up to the mom? I was kidding.
shield paradox. What happens when a sword sharp enough to cut any shield meets a shield strong enough to block any blade? Dichotomy paradox. Enough to cut any agreement. Sword and shield paradox. What happens when a sword sharp enough to cut any shield meets a shield strong enough to block any blade?
The shield either block the blade or break the blade.
dichotomy paradox. Imagine walking towards a destination. To reach it, you'd first have to walk halfway there, and to walk halfway there, you'd first have to walk a quarter of the way there, and so on, creating an infinite amount of steps and causing you to not be able to reach your destination. Fletcher paradox.
Dude, what?
Though it seems an arrow in motion is continuously changing its position, the paradox
Like hydraulic press against a hydraulic press.
argues that at any instant, it can't move to where it isn't, or where it is, making it stationary. Since time consists of these instants, this paradox suggests the arrow is stationary the entire time. Grand
Wait, so that means like it's gonna go straight the whole time? Because an arrow, yeah, because an arrow. So if an arrow went straight the whole time, it breaks gravity itself. Because an arrow goes straight, then it goes down like this. No, it kind of like does this curve, you know what I mean? That goes straight down, starts to go down and hits the ground.
hotel paradox. In an infinitely big hotel with infinitely many rooms, even if all rooms are occupied, the hotel can still accommodate more guests. In order to accommodate you, the hotel could, hypothetically, move the guest from room 1 to room 2. This would move every guest from their current room to a new room, which is possible since there's an infinite number of rooms. Card paradox.
Oh yeah, because why would you want room 1? Dude, that would suck though in reality if that was a thing. Dude, imagine being like in room 20,283. Dude, imagine how many fucking how long the elevator ride would be. Dude, that would fucking suck. That would be a long ass elevator ride. I'd be scared we'd fall. Dude, that elevator broke, we'd be dead. Dude, it would take, you know how long? Dude, if we were on like the highest, like there's no highest floor because it's infinity, but if we're like really fucking high, dude, say we're like floor 10 million, dude, imagine how long if the elevator broke, how long it would take for the elevator to like hit the ground. How do you leave the hotel? Exactly. Because then there's people going in and you're already on the fucking toppest floor in the world, you know what I mean? So if you're on the very top, how the hell are you going to get out? Because then you got to take the elevator down and that could take fucking more than days to even get back down to the fucking ground.
Paradox. What's true if a card has the phrase, "The sentence on the other side of this card is true" on the front side, and the phrase, "The sentence on the other side of this card is false" on the back side? Liar paradox. Imagine that someone says, "I'm lying." If the liar is indeed lying, then the liar is telling the truth, which means that he just lied about lying. Grain of millet paradox.
Wait, I need to hear this liar one.
The sentence on the phrase, "an infinite number of rooms." Card paradox. What's true if a card sentence on the other side of this card is false on the back side? Liar paradox. Imagine that someone says, "I'm lying." If the liar is indeed lying, then the liar is telling the truth, which means that he just lied about lying. Grain of milk.
Oh, so if you're telling the truth and said you're lying about... Wait, no. Yeah, if you're telling the truth that you're lying... No, if you're not telling... Wait, if you're not telling the truth that you're lying and you say that you're lying... But no, if you're lying and you say that you're lying, you're telling the truth because you're lying.
Millet paradox. When a grain of millet falls, it makes no sound, but when 1,000 grains fall, they do. Thus, many of nothing become something. The truth is that it does make a sound. It's just that it's so inaudible that we don't perceive it. Boltzmann brain.
Yeah, you gotta be like really small to hear it. Our ears can't hear that. Yeah, you can't. If you drop sand, you'd hear it. If you drop a little grain of sand, you wouldn't hear it. And plus, air can make sound, but you can't hear air itself. So like if you were to hit, like, you know how like when you have something and you hit it in the air and then the air makes a sound? So like say you have a book and you like go next to your ear and it goes that makes that sound, or you have a belt and you go and it makes that sound to your ear. Does a bigger ear hear better than a smaller one? Because it has a bigger hole for the ear to be going through. Dude, you're so fucking badass.
Might be more likely for a single brain to spontaneously form in a void, complete with a memory of having existed in our universe, rather than for the entire universe to come about. Paradox of enrichment. Increasing the food available to an ecosystem may lead to instability and even to extinction. Service recovery.
Increasing? Because why? Wait, why? Because eating too much causes most of the animals to die?
Paradox. Successfully fixing a problem with a defective product may lead to higher consumer satisfaction than in the case where no problem occurred at all. Stability-instability paradox. When two countries each have nuclear weapons, the probability of a direct war between them greatly decreases, but the probability of minor or indirect conflicts between them increases. Ironic process.
Dude, you know what's scary? There's a dude out there that has a button where once they get a call for them to shoot the nuke, someone calls him up like, "Hey, shoot this nuke." Boom, we're dead. Like, dude, one button could kill us all. Like back then, nukes were okay. Now, like you're not even supposed to shoot a nuke until like it's really, really needed.
Process theory. Ironic processing is the psychological process whereby an individual's deliberate attempts to suppress or avoid certain thoughts renders those thoughts more persistent. Paradox of choice. It's the theory that eliminating consumer choices can be beneficial because it greatly reduces anxiety for shoppers. Birthday paradox.
Mm.
To have a 100% probability of at least 2 people in a group having the same birthday, you'd need 366 people. To have a 50% probability, however...
What? Really? For someone to have the same birthday as you gotta have 366 different people to figure out who has the actual same birthday. So 366 random people for one to be able to have the same birthday as you.
You'd need just 23 people. Schrodinger's cat.
So a 50% chance for 23 people. Oh.
In quantum theory, a particle can be in multiple states simultaneously when not observed. This state is called superposition. When observed, however, the superposition condition collapses, and the particle is randomly in exactly one of those states. Let's hypothetically say that we put a machine that releases poison only when the particle is in the A state in a box, and that we also put a cat in it. Until observed, the machine would simultaneously release the poison and not release the poison. This means that, until observed, the cat would be both alive and dead. This would obviously work only if we don't consider the cat or the machine as observers. Twin paradox.
What? Dude, you know what's scary? Life would be different if we changed a second of our past. Dude, if I didn't talk about this right now and I'm still watching this video, this would have never happened and I'd be watching the video instead of me talking. That's kind of scary to think about. Like, dude, if I never got this PC right here, I would not be right here today. Like, I would not be in this. My room would be different. I would not have this table. I would not be having all this. Dude, if I did not have a PC, dude, if I didn't have a fucking TV, everything. Dude, that's so scary to think about, dude.
According to Einstein, the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. If your identical twin became an astronaut and went on a spaceship that traveled at the speed of light, you'd be some years older than him when he returned. Friendship paradox.
So could you, okay, if you are faster than the speed of light, is it actual time travel?
On average, your friends tend to have more friends than you do. This happens because people who are social and have more friends are more likely to be your friends. Raven paradox. If you wanted to confirm that all ravens are black, finding a black raven supports your claim. But the paradox suggests that also finding something that is not a raven and not black, such as a green apple, supports your claim. Temperature paradox.
What?
If the temperature is 90 and the temperature is rising, is 90 rising? Interesting number paradox. There can't be a smallest uninteresting number, as if it's the first uninteresting one. It becomes interesting for that fact. It naturally follows that every single number is interesting. Irresistible force paradox. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Lottery paradox.
Unstoppable force meets it. Dude, it depends what it is, though. What's the force? Because if there was a big boulder that wasn't moving and a big ass bowling ball going into like a mountain or like a rock, the rock would crack, but the bowling ball wouldn't. Wait, if 0 Celsius is not if 0 Celsius is 90 Fahrenheit, then what is 1 Celsius in Fahrenheit? You're right. What? 38.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So 1 degree Celsius is 33.8. Wait, but that's, yeah. In Fahrenheit, 33.8.
One winning ticket in a large lottery, it is reasonable to believe of any particular lottery ticket that it is not the winning ticket, but it is not reasonable to believe that no lottery ticket will win. Preparedness paradox. After preparing to avoid a catastrophe and lessening the damage, the perception regarding the catastrophe would be much less serious due to the limited damage caused after. Shout out to these guys.
Yeah, because it's like protection, right? What's the paradox for getting in a comfortable spot to sleep in and then feeling the urge to move one of your limbs and not being able to sleep comfortably? Some of these are by definition not a paradox, rather it's a logical fallacy that if corrected. Yeah, some of these weren't, dude, some of these weren't even like a paradox at all. Some of these were just like answering a question.
Got me some green, but I ain't go to the doctor. Chop shit down like the big helicopter.